What's up everyone and welcome to the club. In today's video I'll be showing you step by step on how to draw Charizard from Pokemon. Now we're going to be drawing this character from the side, so let's start all the way over on the left side with the eye. Starting up here, start with a curve going up, and then bending that out. Go back to the inside, curve the lower lid, going up and out. Let's draw on the side of the eye. From the top we're going to step in, just round out the side, and then tuck that in. Now I'm going to pull the iris towards the left side of the eye. Starting from the top, it's going to round this out, pull that in, and then along the top, we're going to draw a small oval for the pupil. Now I'm going to add some folds along the brow, working our way out towards the left. From this point, we're going to step over, curve this out, and then up, step over, go up and in, and then starting from that same point, curve the brow going out and up. Now we're going to work our way down towards the mouth, starting from the bottom point of the brow and go down and out. Just going to round this out, going up and out. And then from the top, come around, down, and then pull that in. And then we'll work our way up towards the corner of the mouth, starting down here, curve up and in. Come straight across with a straight line. Just going to curve this out and up, just beside the eye. Now I'm going to go back and add in the nostril. Starting down here, curve up and in. Let's go back to the corner of the mouth and draw in the lower jaw. Starting up here, come straight down, bend that out, flatten off the bottom. Now we're going to pull that up and in underneath the mouth. Going up, and then bending that out. Let's add a fang on the outside, drawing a small V. Let's go to the inside of the mouth and add in the tongue. Starting from the top, go straight down, bend that in, taper that up and out towards the side of the mouth. Now I have two small curved fangs along the bottom corners of the jaw. Starting on the left, curve out and up, taper that back in, do the same thing on the right. Now we're going to work our way along the outside of the jaw. Starting from the left side, curve the jaw coming down and across. Follow the same curve of the mouth, going out and then up. And then we'll round out the jaw, going out and just pulling that back in. Let's go back to the left side and round out the top of the forehead. Starting up here at the top of the brow, curve up and bend that in. Now let's add those horns along the top of the head. From the top of the jaw, we're going to step up, curve this out and up. I'm just going to thicken this up as we come down and then in on top of the head. And from the base of the horn, we'll step up, curve the top of the head, going out and then down. Let's tuck the second horn in behind the head. From this line, we'll step over, curve out and then up. I'm just going to pull that down and across on top of the forehead. Let's separate the tip of the horn. Starting on the outside, curve up and then down. Line this up on the right and do the same thing. Now I'm going to move down underneath the jaw and draw the front of the neck. Starting up here, curve across and then down. Now we're going to move up underneath the horn on the right side, step up, curve the back of the neck, going across. We'll just pull that down towards the shoulder. Now we're going to round out the outside of the shoulder. We step in to create an overlap, round this out, and then come down. And then from the bottom of the shoulder, let's step in, curve the inside of the arm, coming out and then down towards the elbow. Curve the forearm, coming down and then in. Now from here we're going to add in the fingers and the thumb. Starting from the wrist, curve the thumb going up and then out. We'll round out the thumb, pulling that in. I'm just going to curve that back down toward the inside of the hand. And we'll add two more fingers curled in the opposite direction. Starting from the inside, come down and out. Round up the finger, and then pull that back up. Let's layer the second finger underneath. Starting along the bottom, come down, and pull that up towards the wrist. Now we're going to close off the outside of the arm. From the base of the shoulder, let's step up, curve the arm going out and then down towards the elbow. Curve this down and then in towards the wrist. Let's add a claw along the tip of each finger, starting from the thumb. Curve this out and down. Taper that back in. And then from the finger, we're going to curve up in the opposite direction. Taper that back in. And we'll add one more. I'm also going to add a fold underneath the arm, starting from the top, step down, curve in, and then down. Now let's continue the curve of the neck, coming down, in behind the arm, curve out, and then down on top of the thigh. And then we'll round out the outside of the thigh, starting up here, curving this out, down, and then pulling that in. Let's go back to the top of the thigh, step over towards the left, curve the inside of the thigh, coming across, down, and just pulling that in. Let's go back to the outside of the thigh and work our way down towards the bottom of the foot. Starting down here, angle down and out, come down and in, and then round up the side of the foot, going out and then down. Now we're going to draw 3 claws along the bottom of the foot, starting from the heel, curve down and over towards the left, and we'll draw on the first claw. We'll go up, and then bend that back down toward the bottom of the foot. Let's go to the left side of that claw, for the second claw going out and then down. And from here, we're going to draw a curve going up, and then back down on the right. Let's do that one more time. Starting on the left, go out and then down, go up to the top, and back down. Let's go to the top of the last claw, curve the foot coming in, and then pulling that up underneath the thigh. Now that we have that leg in place, let's move over towards the left and draw the body tucked in underneath. Starting from the base of the neck, we come down, bend that out. Let's round out the body, come down and then in behind the thigh. Let's add that body patch coming in behind the arm and thigh. Starting from the left side of the body, curve up. Just going to pull that down in behind the thumb, continue down underneath the hand, just tuck that in underneath the thigh. Now we're going to draw the left arm tucked in behind the side of the body. Let's start from the side, curve down, and then up, and then we'll curl around the first finger, almost like drawing a circle, going around, and then down. Let's layer 2 more fingers along the top. Starting from the side, draw another circle, going around and then in, go to the top, and do that one more time. Let's go to the inside of the top finger, curve the hand coming in and then down, and we'll follow that same curve coming in towards the elbow, go straight up with an angled line, and then we'll round out the shoulder, going up and then bending that in. Let's add a claw along the tip of each finger, starting from the top, curve in and then down, and then taper that back in, and do that 2 more times. We're also going to tuck the left leg in behind the body. We're going to start by lining up the top of the thigh, over on the left side, curve the leg going out, down, and then bending that in. And then we'll go underneath the body, curve the inside of the leg, going out and then down, curve in and then down towards the heel. Now we're going to work our way out towards the claws. Starting from the heel, curve the foot, coming down and then out. And then we'll draw on the first claw. Start by going up and then bending that down toward the tip of the claw. Pull that up and in towards the bottom of the foot. And we'll stack 2 more claws in behind. Starting from the top, curve up and then down. Pull that back in. We'll do that one more time. And then we'll go to the top of the last claw, curve the foot coming in and then up underneath the thigh. Now the curve of the body is going to continue in behind the thigh and up towards the end of the tail. So let's line this up on the right side, curve the tail going out, and then just pull that up towards the end. Now the tail is going to get thicker as we come back in towards the leg. Come down, and then bend that in. Let's add that trim along the bottom of the tail. From the bottom, step up. Just going to taper this so it gets narrower as we go up. Let's add that flame along the end of the tail. From the tip, we'll step down on the left side, curve in and then out, curl that back in, taper that back down. And we'll work our way up towards the tip of the flame, going up and out, and curving that back in. And we'll work our way along the right side, going out and then in. Let's add another point, going out and up, and down and in. Let's round up the bottom, coming around and then up. And we'll just pull this around and then in towards the right side of the tail. Now that we complete the body, let's tuck the wing on the right side. From the top of the shoulder, we're going to step up, curve out, and then up. Let's round this out, going back out. I'm just going to pull that up and then back in. Let's add that spike along the top of the wing, curving in and then down, go up. I'm just going to hook this down. Let's go to the top of that curve, go up and then out, and we'll bend the wing going out and then down. Now the inside ridge of the wing is going to get thicker as we come back in. So we're going to start on the end, just taper this, coming back in, follow that same curve coming back in towards that horn. Now I'll trace this curve along the inside of the wing coming back in towards the arm. Going around, and then in, coming down, and then tucking that in behind the shoulder. Let's go back up to this point and add a ridge. Starting from the top, going out, and then bending that down. And we'll connect the tip of the wing to the bottom of that ridge with a curve. Coming in, and then down. And then from here, curve the wing coming in, and then down in behind the arm. Now I'm going to draw the second wing tucked in behind the head. Let's start up here, start with a curve going up, and then across. Now I'm drawing that same horn, going in behind, continue along the inside. And then from the tip, curve up, and then bend that down. Let's go to the top of that curve and go up, bend that down. I'm going to follow that same curve, coming back down in behind the neck. Let's go back to that top point, curve out, and then down in behind the neck. And then we'll continue this down underneath the chin, coming down toward the bottom of the wing. Curve this up and in behind the neck. And that's pretty much it. There's Charizard from Pokemon. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Make sure you check out my Pokemon playlist. We're adding new characters every week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.